Ahyeon, a member of the rising K-pop group BabyMonster, has recently found herself at the center of a hate storm. From accusations of overperforming to criticisms about her expressions, it's almost like everyone has an opinion about her, and most of them aren't kind. But let's be real, is the hate actually justified? Spoiler, it's not. Let's break down the reasons why people are hating on Ahyeon and why those reasons don't hold up to scrutiny. First up, the claim that Ahyeon overperforms and screams too much during live shows. The argument here is that her energy level is too high, her facial expressions are too intense, and her dance moves are exaggerated. But let's think about this for a moment. Ahyeon is a rookie idol. She's young, fresh in the industry, and enthusiastic. Critics say her performances are over the top, but it's this same level of energy that many fans adore in their favorite idols. Let's not forget that energy and enthusiasm are often seen as the hallmarks of a passionate performer. Compare this to the early days of other idols like Jennie from Blackpink or Wonyoung from IVE. They too were accused of doing too much or too little on stage, yet today they are celebrated for their charisma and ability to captivate audiences. Ahyeon is no different. Her performances, while perhaps unrefined, are driven by excitement and a genuine love for being on stage. It's worth mentioning that she's still new to the scene, and it's completely normal for her to need some time to find her balance. Her intensity is proof of her dedication, not a reason to be hated. Then there's the argument that Ahyeon steals the spotlight from other members. She is often pointed out as being too noticeable, as if that's somehow a crime. But let's remember, Ahyeon was brought back into the group after almost being cut because her presence was deemed necessary by the company. She's a standout member because she has star quality, something that even her critics can't deny. Ahyeon's confidence on stage and her ability to command attention are traits that should be celebrated, not condemned. She's doing what she's supposed to do, stand out in a competitive industry. Many have also targeted her vocal performance, saying she screams instead of singing. But if we dive into the facts, Ahyeon's vocal technique is actually consistent with the standards expected of K-pop idols. She hits high notes with power, she uses her voice to energize the crowd during live performances, and she has a unique vocal color that sets her apart. Sure, her technique might need polishing, she's a rookie after all, but the raw talent is clearly there. The criticisms about her screaming are less about vocal ability and more about personal preference. Not everyone will like every vocal style, but that doesn't mean it's wrong or bad. Another point often raised against Ahyeon is that she lacks grace, or that her movements are not as refined as her peers. But once again, this comes back to the fact that she's a new artist. We're not talking about someone who has been in the industry for years. We're talking about someone who is just getting started. The suggestion that a rookie idol should already be perfect or risk being torn apart by criticism is not only unfair, it's completely unrealistic. Every idol, from BTS to Blackpink, had moments in their early careers where they were criticized for not meeting certain standards. What makes Ahyeon any different? Now, let's address the elephant in the room, the accusations of arrogance or overconfidence. Some say Ahyeon's demeanor comes across as cocky, but this criticism feels especially flimsy. In an industry that often demands perfection, especially from female idols, confidence is crucial. Ahyeon shows confidence not because she's arrogant, but because she knows the expectations are high. Confidence on stage is a survival mechanism for any K-pop idol, and it's baffling that people would fault her for displaying it. To perform on some of the world's biggest stages, you need to believe in yourself. That's what Ahyeon is doing, and that's what every idol has to do. A lot of the criticism aimed at Ahyeon seems to stem from a deeper issue: jealousy and insecurity among fans. When you're a standout performer in a group, it's natural to become the target of those who feel threatened. Ahyeon isn't the first idol to face this kind of backlash, and she won't be the last. The hate is not based on facts or legitimate grievances, but on the discomfort some fans feel when they see someone else's star shining a little brighter. We saw the same dynamic play out with Jennie, who was labeled lazy and undeserving when in reality, she was simply an idol trying to do her job. Speaking of jobs, let's also consider the role of YG Entertainment in this. Ahyeon is not just some random kid doing her own thing. She is an artist under one of the biggest and most influential entertainment companies in South Korea. YG Entertainment is known for their rigorous training programs and high standards for their idols. If Ahyeon truly lacked talent, or was a problem within the group, it is highly unlikely she would have been kept on. YG saw something in her potential, charisma, talent that made them bring her back into BabyMonster. The accusation that she doesn't get along with her members is another example of flimsy reasoning. This claim is largely based on superficial observations from edited videos and public appearances, where a multitude of factors could influence how the members interact. To assume that Ahyeon is a problem simply because she's perceived as too much is to buy into baseless narratives spun from limited information. No one outside of the group and their management knows the true dynamics of their relationships. What we do know is that the members are professionals, and they are working together to succeed. Let's not forget that Ahyeon is only 17 years old. She is still a teenager, managing the massive pressure of being in the public eye and navigating criticism from strangers on the internet. The criticism she faces isn't just about her performances. It's personal, it's harsh, and it's often entirely unreasonable. It's easy to forget that idols like Ahyeon are human beings with emotions. The level of scrutiny she's under is extraordinary for someone her age, and yet she continues to perform and push forward. That shows resilience and strength, qualities that should be commended, not attacked. And finally, there's the issue of why this happens more often to girl idols than boy idols. When male idols display high energy or standout performances, they are often praised for their passion and intensity. But when female idols like Ahyeon do the same, they're labeled as over the top or too much. It's a double standard that has been entrenched in the K-pop industry for far too long. Ahyeon is being criticized not because she's lacking, but because she doesn't fit into the narrow mold that some fans and industry insiders want her to fit into. So why does everyone hate Ahyeon? The truth is, they don't. The voices that are the loudest are often the most negative, but they do not represent the majority. The hate directed at her is amplified by social media, where negativity spreads faster than positivity. The reality is that Ahyeon has many supporters who love her energy, her passion, and her unique presence in the group. The backlash is not only disproportionate, but largely unfounded. In conclusion, the reasons people hate Ahyeon are weak at best and malicious at worst. She's a young, talented performer doing her best to navigate the complex world of K-pop. The criticisms against her are a mix of subjective preferences, double standards, and outright jealousy. Ahyeon deserves a fair chance to grow and develop as an artist, just like any other rookie idol. Instead of focusing on the hate, let's acknowledge her potential and give her the space to shine. Everyone's entitled to their opinion, but let's make sure those opinions are based on facts, not biases. After all, it's the fans who help build up these idols. Let's support them instead of tearing them down. And if you found this breakdown helpful, consider liking the video and subscribing to the channel for more content like this. Let us know in the comments what you think. Is the hate against Ahyeon justified, or is it just another case of internet drama gone too far?